What is going on, YouTube? Definitely a little bit more of a solemn video today. If you saw the last video, you'll know we had the world's biggest 12-inch hooked up. We pushed it to the moon. Ended up shorting out my big old Marts 13.5K. Oh no! Now I do just want to start out by saying, guys, any amp can blow when a sub blows or has an issue or shorts, especially when you're pushing an insane amount of power to it. It is what it is, guys. Just part of doing what I do here on the channel. That being said, this is a $1,000 amp. Now, Marts Digital did send it to me, so I'm not exactly out the money, but still, I put a lot of work hooking this thing up. I plan to use this thing for a long time in a bunch of videos, so this is definitely a huge bummer. But again, it's part of doing what I do, guys, so what you're gonna do. In this video, we're gonna be cleaning this up, pulling out the amp, going over what happened to the sub, and we're gonna pull the back off this thing, see how bad the damage is. Now, you'll see in the video, you can see I looked through the vents. This amp was on fire. No! Now, fortunately, guys, I always keep a handy dandy fire extinguisher here with me, just in case I need it. And y'all, I'm blessed that I had it because it definitely came in handy. I was able to hit it right in the vents and it put the fire out just like that, which is really good. Obviously, I've got a massive battery bank right here. Should the fire have got outside of the amp, caught onto the battery bank, y'all, the entire car would have gone up in flames and that just would have been absolutely awful. So extremely blessed that I was prepared for this to happen. Got it out super fast and nothing worse happened. Y'all, this is a huge bummer, but it is what it is. We're gonna press on. I do, of course, got to give Def Bonds a huge shout out for sponsoring this channel. As I said before, you never know how ads are going to do. Videos can get demonetized, all kinds of stuff. So having somebody support the channel monetarily is a massive help. Here's a quick word for them, then we'll get back to the video. Now, guys, I know you hate it when you're watching the video and a sponsor comes up. They're talking about some iPhone game or Simply Safe or becoming a lord in Scotland or something. Now, I've got some offers like that in the past. Not what I really wanted to do. So when the guys over at Alfred Audio Group reached out, I was super stoked at the opportunity to work with them. Now, specifically, I've done a ton of stuff with Def Bonds. So that's what I have the most experience with. So a couple things I absolutely love about them. One, not cookie cutter whatsoever. Most of their stuff has custom tooled baskets, has its own unique look, not just off-the-shelf stuff from China. Two, they have absolutely awesome coils, even on some of their more lower-end budget stuff. Third, they make some of the most just awesome and windy, big beefy builds out there. I love that they put their money where their mouth is, and they do some absolutely awesome stuff in the car audio space. Check out links to Alfred Audio in the description below. Now let's get back to the video, y'all. Now, I looked back at the video. The AMD SNM1 read up to 6,500 watts. Oh no! That's when this blew and everything kind of went haywire. So I could have pushed more power than that. Hard to say. But from what I can tell, what looks like happened, this side of the spider came detached. When that happens, guys, the coil tilted, smacked the motor, which I believe caused a short. That is what happened when I had this sub in my truck. Of course, I had it on the Tar Amps 12K. Now, the Tar Amps just went into Protect, had absolutely no issues. I used it a bunch after that, and it was totally fine. But, guys, amps are super finicky. It's weird. Sometimes they'll go into Protect. Everything will be fine. Sometimes the littlest thing will just set them aflame. So again, no fault of the amp necessarily. That being said, I do know that is a gripe a lot of people have with some of these full bridge amps. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. That is the only issue that I do have with them is that their protection circuits don't seem to be necessarily as good as some of the nicer half bridge amps. I did blow my first Tar Amps MD 12K and I blew one of my base 8Ks. So it just happens, guys. It is what it is. You can see right here, this side of the spider came undone, whereas over here, everything still looks fine. The glue held up. Now, I do got to give this monster of a sub props. It is officially the loudest 12-inch sub we've ever had on the channel. I had the Sundown XV2 in here. I got a 145. I've been a 145.6. I don't remember exactly. It was a 145 something. Of course, this guy got up to a 146.9. Almost a 147 in a really large car, guys. This thing has a huge cabin. It takes a lot to pressurize this whole cabin. So almost a 147 for 112, kind of crazy. When this blew, and this is just good for y'all to know if you ever have an amp that blows. When these amps short circuits, they can start fires, guys. It happens. It's especially dangerous when you have a massive battery bank sitting right next to it. So y'all, I instantly turned off the car. That was the first thing. When I saw there was a fire in there, I did spray it. I got the fire out. Then I went in, took out my fuses, running to the amp, and everything ended up being okay. Again, super blessed. It wasn't worse, but let's go ahead, vacuum all this up, clean it up, then we'll pull this amp off and see what happened. All right, let's open this thing up, see what all damage it did, y'all. Shoo-wee. Y'all, that got crispy in there. Whew. For everybody that wanted to know what the inside of this amp looked like, obviously it'd look a little better if it wasn't all charred, but at least you can see what we got going on. Y'all, it got hot. These fans don't even turn. This one does, but it's rubbing. Y'all, it got crispy in here. Whoo, you guys. Just part of doing what we do here. I don't know if y'all can tell, but I am super bummed out. This is not the way I wanted this to go. I was so excited to have this amp in here just to try it out for a while. I'd ordered new dual inputs for it. I actually bought two 18s. I was gonna hook up, test out, was really gonna push this thing to the max, see what we could do. Just part of doing this YouTube thing, guys. Nothing ever goes as planned, which is part of the fun. Keeps stuff lively around here. Now I do got to give a big shout out to Big Jeff for sending me this amp. At least I'm not necessarily out the money. Didn't have to pay for this guy. Just wish I could have got more time with it. Could have got to do all this stuff that I had planned to do with this guy on the channel. So I guess that means we got to hook one of my tar amps back up in there and get back to work. That's what we're gonna have to do. All right, y'all, quick update. I talked to Big Jeff. He, of course, the one that hooked me up with the amp. He said he was gonna talk to Marts and get them to warranty it, y'all. So that would be awesome. Definitely did not expect that. So huge shout out to Big Jeff for, once again, just helping out. He's a really cool dude, so appreciate that. Hopefully we'll get another amp and we'll still get to do some of the stuff that we wanted to do with it. And we'll see if this was just kind of a one-off issue, or if these amps do have some issues. Obviously, if we blow again, y'all will see it, and that'll be that. But anyway, thank you to Big Jeff for helping out, and thank to all of y'all as always. All right, y'all, stay tuned for the next video. Remember, as always, keep basing on.